Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I got a comment. I haven't posted in a while, which very sorry for that, but a girl is busy with school and work. But I got a comment, which I can no longer find, asking me to kind of explain what led me to Islam. And I can no longer find the comment, but I kind of have a video like this already posted on my page, but I don't really go over kind of like my life and what actually led me to Islam. So I thought I'd make a video about it today. But growing up, I was raised fundamentalist Latter-day Saint, so Mormon, but not the regular Mormons. The Mormon that believes in polygamy and believes it's okay to have multiple wives. That's kind of how I was raised. My stepfather married my mom when I was very young, and I kind of grew up kind of going to the Mormon church, but kind of having these own beliefs that we practice. A lot of our beliefs are very similar to the Mormon church, other than the fact that we believed in polygamy. My grandpa was a polygamist. He had 3 wives at one point, but when he passed away, he had 2 wives, and one of them being my grandma, the other one being a lady who was like my grandma. So I kind of grew up in and out of the church. I would sometimes go to church, and then I sometimes wouldn't. And that, all the way up until I was about 10 or 11, I got baptized in the church. And then I got really, really sick, and some things just happened, and our family kind of got out of the habit of going, and we never went. So to me, I was always Mormon. When I was 12, I went to a Christian school, but even while going to that Christian school, I always identified as Mormon because my core beliefs were in Mormonism and in what the LDS Church believed. Up until I was about 14, I went to that school, or maybe 13. During my 8th grade year is when I switched over and I went to public school. Now, public school was great and rough for me at the same time. I did some things I'm not proud of, but it ultimately led me astray from serving God and Mormonism and Christianity as a whole. Sorry if you hear my washer going in the background, but it kind of led me astray from all of that. So then I come to college, I'm still finding my way. I identify more as a Christian than as a Mormon, even though my core beliefs are still in Mormonism. But there's a lot of things that I disagree with in the Mormon church. So then, I'm in college. I'm more on like a spiritual journey. I believe there is a God. I just don't know who he is. I don't necessarily believe in a religion, but I still believe in a higher power. I was trying to delve into like spirituality, crystals, all of that. That really wasn't for me. If that's what you do, no shame. I believe there are multiple ways to serve God, and if that's your way, go for it. It just wasn't for me. And then my sophomore year in college, so this would have been about 2 years ago, about 2023, I got a boyfriend, and my boyfriend was Muslim. And we were kind of long distance, and that's how I really started knowing about the religion. And so I did my own exploration of the religion, just trying to figure out what it is, what it means to be Muslim, what it means to believe in Allah, more about the Prophet. We ultimately broke up during Ramadan, actually, which is funny because I know a lot of Muslim men who do that. But we broke up during Ramadan, and I stopped learning about Islam, kind of went about our own ways. But then something just was really pulling at my heartstrings to learn more about it. And so I tried praying. I don't think I prayed the right way. I didn't realize I had to like cover myself when I prayed. I think I prayed in a t-shirt and shorts with no hijab on. And then I met my now husband, but I met a friend who was Muslim. And so I was like, I took that as a sign from God to start learning about it again. So I picked it up again and I started learning about it again. And me and this friend got closer and closer. And I kept learning about it. And then I went to the masjid for the first time because he invited me to an open house. And the sense of community was amazing. I loved that. And I felt so at peace. Um, and so I started going. This was during Ramadan. I started going for Maghrib. I still can't pronounce some things. Maghrib, and eating iftar, and I just felt at home. And so I started going to Jumma, and I just felt at home. And then one day, a brother said to me, like, "Have you converted yet?" And I said, "No, not yet. Soon, inshallah." And he goes, "Well, you could die tomorrow. You might as well take your shahada." And so that night, I took my shahada. And then a couple months later, I married that friend. But it was really just little things in life that led me to Islam and me feeling so at peace that led me to convert.